Hello, welcome to the Chronicles, and thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your support. Okay, I talked about taking the things that I taught about impermanence and the four immeasurables and harming people and suffering and all of that. Let's put it into practice now in your daily life. How exactly do we take this from the knowledge theory stage into the actual practice stage? All right. And I think that this is really what we want to know in life, because if we're going to change our lives, it would be very, very good to have some kind of a pathway to follow. And while pathways can be laid out for you, like Jesus did with his Beatitudes and stuff, he didn't tell us how to get to heaven. He just told us that blessed are the poor, for they shall inherit the earth. He said very few things that are actually recorded in his words, and so we don't have too much to go on. I think the essence of his message is love God and love your neighbor as yourself. But he didn't give a how-to manual. If you do this, and this, you'll become a saint. Nor did Buddha. Buddha gave teachings, and he taught, like I did in the first here, ideas and concepts, and then said, here is your pathway. You have to walk it, you have to experience it, and you have to use these same methods that I'm outlining for you, but your path is going to be different from mine. It's going to be different from your neighbor. It's going to be different from every being who ever existed or ever will exist, because it is yours. And that's really important, because this puts the responsibility right where it should be, on you. If you want to change, then you'll do it. If you don't want to change, then you won't. What could be fairer than that? And what could be more practical than that? And what could be truer than that? So let's say you do want to change. How do we go about doing it? Well, the first thing that we have to do is look at a very simple word with a very complicated meaning: motivation. Motivation basically is defined by any dictionary is the will to act, or the will to move in a direction. So it's a directional flow. Now, we can have motivations about anything. A little leaguer wants to be a big leaguer, and then wants to be most valuable player in the professional baseball. A young girl who babysits starts to really love children and decides, I want to be a mom, and I want to be the best mom ever. So that's where motivation starts, is you encounter something in your life that really grabs you, and you feel that this is a purpose that you want to have in your life as your guideline or your pathway, and that you want to achieve that purpose to the best of your ability. So then you start to gather knowledge, you start to gather experience, and you start to gather the means necessary to achieve these goals. Well, life is a lot broader than a slice of it, like being a ball player or being a mom or any other thing, being a firefighter. And all pursuits are good ones, in the sense that you have to utilize the same tools as any other. So to me, motivation is getting up in the morning and setting a tone for your life. Now, you don't know what the day is going to bring you. You have no idea what you're going to encounter, what is going to arise, who is going to interact with you on a positive or a negative level, or what's going to happen. It's when they say life is the mystery, there's your mystery. What next? We don't know. But the way we can be prepared for this is to have the motivation to say to ourselves upon arising, I am going to do the best I can to benefit all beings today. That's a very simple declarative sentence. It's nonspecific to which beings or to what it is that I'm going to do, because I don't know. I don't know what situations I'm going to find myself in, and I don't know who I'm going to encounter during the day. But if I start on a daily basis and with a few reminders during the day that I am going to do the best I can to benefit all beings, that slowly but surely becomes our principal motivation in life. And it will start to actually grow in the space that it takes up in exterior mind and interior mind, but it also takes on a great deal of power and energy. As you roll through your life, guided by this, self-guided by this, you start to feel the momentum of the motivation. Momentum, motivation have a similar connotation because you're pushing outwards or moving outwards. And you find that it's easier to be aware of situations as they arise to do the best you can. Now, what is the best you can? I can't define that. This is something, and the most beautiful to me part of life that you will discover on your own. You will discover who you really are, who that God nature and what that God nature is within you. Because the more you try to be the best you are, the more you incorporate wisdom, discriminating awareness, kindness, compassion, love, generosity, etc. And these things will unfold into every situation that you encounter and will be parts of the building block as to how you deal with situation by situation by situation. As you advance further, those building blocks become a foundation. And then little by little, they become a house or a building. And then little by little, they become the grand palace of your life, that everything that you do is the best you can. Now, one caution. We have a beginning of the day where we make this motivation to ourselves, aloud or silently. We try to reinforce it 1 or 2 times during the day, and I suggest that you remember this in times of stress or in times where someone might be challenging for you to deal with in the moment. But at night, your day's over. Basically, you're going to go to sleep. I would suggest that you say this: I dedicate the merit of anything that I have done during the day, and that includes good, bad, indifferent, everything, anything and everything that you have done during the day for the benefit of all beings. Make it as simple as that. Do not judge whether any or all activity was the best you can, because that creates its own trap to where you're falling back into judgment. Well, I could have done better here, or I shouldn't have done that. No. What you want to do is set a motivational habit and pattern so that as your natural wisdom comes up, then you won't have to question that because you'll know it's right. As your natural compassion comes up, you won't have to question whether you had the right idea for it or the right approach to it, because you'll know that it was as perfect as it could be. And so keep it simple. I wish that I dedicate my day for the benefit of all beings at night, and then you wake up the next morning and say, I dedicate my day to benefit of all beings and hope that I can cause benefit wherever possible. Make it simple, make it sweet, but make it a practice. Thank you very much. If you like this video, hit the like button, and if you want to find out what's coming, hit the subscribe button. We want this to be an open forum, so we welcome your comments and questions, and we'll endeavor to answer them as quickly as we can. Again, thank you very much.